Quebec's education system is governed by provincial legislation that creates a landscape distinct from the rest of North America. For parents moving here, the typical process of comparing internet reviews or shopping for a neighborhood based on test scores is ineffective. Instead, every family must navigate two rigid filters: the language mandates of Bill 101 and the strict boundaries of geographic zoning. In this system, educational options are determined first by your family's legal eligibility and only second by your personal preferences. New residents have three primary schooling paths: French public, English public, and private. The French public system is the provincial default, accessible to all children regardless of their country of origin or the language spoken at home. Access to the other paths is restricted. The English public system requires a certificate of eligibility, a document confirming a parent was educated in English within Canada. The private path requires the financial capital to cover tuition in full. Misjudging your eligibility for these paths can lead to a loss of placement in essential early childhood programs like K4 and K5. You must verify your legal status before beginning the enrollment process. Bill 101 is the absolute first filter in the system, setting the trajectory for every child's education in the province. For the majority of international immigrants, the mandate is clear. If neither parent received their elementary education in English in Canada, the child must attend a French public school. This path provides immediate cultural immersion and built-in francization support. However, it removes the parent's ability to choose between different school boards. Canadian families moving from other provinces have a different option. If one parent was educated in English in Canada, they can apply for the certificate of eligibility to access English language schools. This provides linguistic continuity for the child, but it introduces bureaucratic friction and can slow down the family's integration into the local Francophone community. Families can bypass the requirements of Bill 101 by paying for an unsubsidized private English school, though this shifts the burden to significant annual tuition costs. These regulations ensure that the vast majority of newcomers are routed directly into the French system. Once a family is within the French system, they face a second filter: geographic zoning. Most families choose the neighborhood school. This path offers guaranteed admission, a shorter distance from home, and immediate ties to the local community. There is an alternative for specialized curriculums, programs focused on the arts, competitive provincial sports, or the international baccalaureate. Choosing a specialized project involves distinct trade-offs in cost and accessibility. Specialized projects require competitive selection tests, a commute outside your local zone, and strict adherence to winter application deadlines. This choice is a trade-off of energy. Choosing elite public education exchanges logistical ease for academic friction and a longer daily commute. In Quebec, the timing of your arrival is just as critical as your location. This timeline shows the critical enrollment window in January and February. Registering during these months is necessary for securing a standard placement for the following September. Arriving mid-year, such as in October or April, changes the dynamic. In these cases, the school board will place the child in any school within the region that has an empty desk. This administrative placement overrides parent preferences or access to specialized programs. Arriving during the winter enrollment window provides the opportunity to choose. Arriving mid-year requires accepting mandatory placement. The baseline reality is that Quebec defaults to local French integration. Moving away from that default requires Canadian heritage, significant financial investment, or high academic effort. This quadrant chart helps identify the most practical path based on your family's capacity for effort and cost versus your desire for choice. Profile 1 represents the international immigrant. This path is low cost and low effort, but offers the least amount of customization. For this profile, the most effective action is to enroll in the local French neighborhood school. It provides immediate francanization with no legal or bureaucratic friction. Profile 2 is the optimizer, parents seeking specific academic outcomes. If you choose this path, target the specialized projects within the French system. Prepare for selection tests in January, and be ready for the logistical challenge of a commute. Profile 3 includes short-term expats or families prioritizing English first education. For these families, leverage the certificate of eligibility if eligible, or budget for private schooling. This preserves linguistic continuity at the cost of higher administration or tuition fees. A successful transition to the Quebec school system comes from aligning your family's legal reality with your tolerance for friction. Focus on the paths that are legally and logistically open to you.